be able to give a final statement? Let's kind of roll through.
You want to answer?
Yes, please.
Okay. It's something we'd have to look at. If it's going to cost us money as the sheriff's office, and it's creating us problems, yes, we will get rid of it. But that's something that we're going to have to look at and make sure that that's going to be the point.
And I agree with that, Ed. You know, it's something you have to look at. I totally agree that if it's costing the county money and depriving businesses of money, then I agree with doing away with it.
When was the last time you guys met as a meeting with the sheriff's department, all the bonds?
Bondsman met last time in 2008 to discuss paying for advertisement inside the county jail.
And I've heard the same thing out of the record services too. That won't happen if I'm in there.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's a little TV down there, and it runs Bondsman, and they paid monthly. Is that paid monthly?
Quarterly.
Quarterly? Okay, no, take it out, put a card up there, let the prisoner have the choice of who he wants to call. You do not tell him, you call that Bondsman, you call that Bondsman. It's not right.
The reason that's in there, the money that's generated, we purchase the televisions for the inmates, we keep up this system that works for the inmates, we make them fund it, and it doesn't cost the county anything, and the money that's generated over that is put back into the budget. I mean, that's something that we come up with, cost saving. We've done many cost saving issues there. As far as the kiosk machine or the bonding machine, that's something for convenience. If you've got somebody that needs a $200 bond, rather than try to run around and get the cash, they're able to use their credit card and get the person out without having to wait.
Quickly, the last question of the evening, and then you guys can get your closing statements on why you would like to be the next Camden County Sheriff. If there were a law that you personally felt was outdated, get your turn.
Thank you.
Would you disregard or enforce that law?
When you put on the badge, they don't ask you or tell you, okay, if you want to enforce this law, you enforce this law. If not, then that's fine, just stick it. What if we did that with drug dealers? Okay? I like you, you sell crack to all the kids up here from school, but because I like you, I'm gonna put that law. I'm not gonna enforce that law. No, that's not the way the ball is bounced. We pin the badge on to do a job. That's enforce the laws. Okay? It's not our job to dictate what laws we're going to enforce or not. Some of them, they leave a bitter taste in your mouth. But if the system was set up to do that, you imagine what our country would be in right now.
And Eddie's right. We also take the oath to support the Constitution of Missouri and the United States, support the laws of Missouri. We also have some Camden County ordinances or regulations. Those have to be enforced. But as I have done in the past is, when you have one that's not right, you can try to change it, and in some cases you can change it, and you can work on that real hard. Whether it's survey stakes being pulled up and no penalties for pulling them up, to including CCW to where that was passed. And it's something that's important, and if it needs to be changed, worked several times on trying to get landlord rights changed, but at the same time we were trying to do that in St. Louis, landlords were being bad guys. So it's something that if the law's not right, you got to get it changed. I think that the question was pointed towards something a little more than that, but the reality of it is we do have to uphold the laws and the Constitution, as our oath says so.
Johnny?
I'll try not to talk on this too long. Most people know what happened to me with Camden City. My biggest issue was we've got so many old ordinance laying out there that seem like when they want to enforce it, they pull them out. The ordinance on me was 32 years old, laying in the dirt somewhere. Houston, Texas, when I worked down there, They have public hangings for stealing livestock, stealing the books. Do they enforce it? No. I'm all for enforcing the law. We have a bunch of ordinance. I think Campton still has one about spitting on sidewalks. Do they enforce it? No. Right now, they're just enforcing the ones they want to.
Anybody ever heard of other people, by the people, for the people? The law's for you. You elect the officials, they go up there, they pass laws. As law enforcement officers, then you enforce it. There's judges to see if it's a good law. Black and white should be for law enforcement. Judges can get into the gray matter, and attorneys, you got any here? So, yeah, back there. So, we have to understand, you have to work the law, and you do not have a real gray area.
You can't pick and choose the laws you enforce. You're sworn, you're obligated to enforce all the laws, everybody equally under the law, and that's what we've tried to do. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean you can't enforce it. If you don't like it, go through the legislature and change it.